Greetings. Thank you for tuning into the Revenant Studios After Hour podcast. I'm your host, Joshua B. Alexander, and welcome to our first session. Now, in this series, I interview directors, producers, actors, writers, and anyone else in the world of film. So, if you know someone who would be a great addition to this series, whether that be you, a friend, or family member, feel free to comment down below on who that may be. Now, before I start and I introduce our guests, I'd like to throw out a parental warning. The topics and discussions in this podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Profanity may or may not be used, as this is a free and non-judgmental space, and I like to give the guests the liberty to speak however they wish and express however they feel. The interview will consist of non-simple starter questions that may lead up to follow-ups as the conversation naturally progresses. In this session, I had the opportunity and pleasure of interviewing a very dear friend of mine named Violyt Martin. She's a film PA, a model, actress, writer, and we had a very interesting conversation on film set etiquette, the many responsibilities of a PA, and what somebody new coming into this industry to make a film can expect. So, without further ado, let's begin. Thank you so much, Violyt, for being here for this. So, first question, just tell us who you are, what you do.
I'm Violyt Martin. On the film, I've done a few different roles of sorts, where it's from PA to crafty to AD to sound.
Mhm.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
Right. So tell us, where can we find you on social media?
Well, my Instagram handle is Violyt with a Y, Violyt Martin, Martin.
Okay.
It's also like that on Facebook, and I just use those two. So, but I don't usually do Facebook. I'm more of a gram.
Okay.
Social girl.
Gotcha. All right. So tell us how we met and why you have glitter on your
Oh,
face.
well, we met through a photo shoot. Basically, you are a director slash photographer slash sound slash
Everything.
DP, everything,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But we met through a mutual friend doing a different photo shoot, and we just gone on since then. And hopefully you like my work, which is maybe.
Hopefully, like my work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
you're always really professional and on time as well, so I don't ever have to look at my clock to, or hit you up for anything like, where are you, or are you still coming, or anything like that.
Right.
Very thorough.
That's funny you should say that because when I first got into university college, I was doing this acting class, and I was always late because I was, for the bus.
Oh.
And yeah, and my professor was like, you can't use excuses of the bus came late or this, that, and the third. So I always use that experience of coming an hour early. If most people have cars and they're late, so I have to catch 2, 3 buses, maybe a train to get to somewhere, and people are not on time. And so he said to me, he was like, get it done. And just the way that he said it to me was like, okay, kind of like ethered my soul. So I was like, whatever, I need to do to get to wherever I need to be, wake up early, catch an earlier bus or whatever, just to get it done to always be there,
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do, really. Like, that's always just unprofessional. They always say 15 minutes early is late. So, you whatever it takes, get it done. I can totally see and stand by those words for sure. Good man.
Right. Because the saying goes, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're not on time, you're forgotten.
Right.
Yeah, so you're fired,
Yeah, it's true. So, I always like to be early. I try to be early. I try that as well. But, shit happens sometimes. But you never want to have that excuse of, I guess a transportation blip. So, but it still happens.
All right, so we're going to get into our real questions. So tell us, again, like what you do, but like how you got into the field that you do. So you are a PA, right? Or
Yeah,
you've done PA
I
work.
was a cocktail waitress of the sorts, and different, definitely jumping in and out of different bars and scenes of those things. Always hated it, but it was really great money, fast cash, the usual kinds of things that they always say. The biggest part is that I smoke weed, like a lot.
Right.
And like I said, I was definitely trying to transition into something else, and I moved to New York to be an actress. So I smelled weed, and I just so happened to be in this guy that was smoking on a film set, or it wasn't on it, but he was working with the film production, and I was working the next week, and just loved it so much because with film you can do and be anything, right? And that's not just saying if you're an actor, but just being the crew. You go to these places, like I've never seen so much different parts of New York until I became a production assistant on film. And I mean like on actual sets that are actually making money versus just family friends kind of things. So yeah, that's how I got into film. Yeah.
So can you tell us what like a PA assistant does? So
They
what does it stand
generally
for
do-
and what it does?
Yeah. So they do about everything under the sun. I would say they don't have one specific job. PAs there's like 5 different PAs, and there's like paperwork. There is the key PA. There is the first team PA, the background PA, and I'm missing one, but I won't like take too much of your time. But they all have generally different roles, but they have the same role as far as we're always an assistant to someone, basically almost anyone in the production department. We don't usually handle any kind of camera or anything unless it's live TV, or, like live streaming kind of things. But film, the departments are their own departments, but you have to do run and get something or stand at a door as a lockup to make sure that nobody comes into the shot or goes out of it. You waving people down, flaggers, they sometimes say, where you have to notify outside world that this is a film set. Can you hold and stop here for just a minute? We're rolling. It's like those kind of things. I'll run and grab a water for the director or the first AD, which is usually like our boss directly. All of the ADs are our bosses. And everybody's our boss, basically. It's kind of a shitty job.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, but also is like no respect in terms of like what you do, because you're almost like you're the backbone of the production in a way.
Oh, you
but
are.
They don't give you like the props that you deserve.
Yeah, there's some nice people on set. There's some really genuine, really great people that look at you and they tell that we are definitely still part of this. We all have a job to do, and we, which is a great thing about film is that one person can't just do everything. We need like a whole crew, a whole team of people. So I loved that part actually a whole lot. But they definitely are the backbone, and the hours that you can work sometimes, most of the time, is just outrageous.
Yeah, because I was gonna have like a follow up, like how many hours do you work as a production assistant on average?
Average, I've done 16 hours before. But they say it's 12. But you get there before crew call, and then you have to stay there after wrap, to help wrap out things like the trash or just stuff like that. So my longest day was 18 hours, but that wasn't on a union job. But on a union, it's been like 16 before. And overnighters or...
So that's crazy. On a union job, when you're getting paid, you didn't work 18 hours, but on a non-paid, you worked 18 hours.
Yeah. I mean, they both was a great experience, and I would not change it for the world. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I learned what I learned. I have great set etiquette. I'm always on time now, which is great, which is early. Right? Because you always want to eat. Definitely before you actually start working those horrible long hours. And you can never sit down. You're always running around. And if like an AD, a producer, if they see you sitting, you look like you're not doing a job. A second AD once told me that always just look at like your call sheet, even if you're not actually reading it, just look like you're reading it, and they'll pass you on by like nothing.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
So let's get into, so what is your best film experience? And don't say royalty. So someone said the royalty already.
It's one of the ones
Ah.
up there. All right.
I mean, I'll take it now, but.
The best film experience I've had was probably the boarding school. And it was a very tiny project. It was not a whole huge crew.
Right.
It was a movie. It wasn't a show, so it was only like 2 months,
right.
which was great. It was a horror film, and I've never done a horror film before. And I just like horror films just in general, and the whole seeing how an art department can take a regular room and make it into some nasty, gory, like walls are moldy. It's incredible. So I love that experience, and plus also just the travel in general, like you go to so many different places and see so many different things, and so yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a friend that does horror, and if he listens to this interview, he'll be like, really? You like horror?
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah. So, no, but that's good though. I think documenting that what your best film experience is to kind of, get people interested in, the idea of what film can be. Because most people think that film is you just grab your friends and you go. But hearing that, if you want to be like a production assistant or even if you're an actor, possibly you can be on set for about 12, 14, 13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's many different roles in filmmaking, which is really great. Actually, because like I said, you can do camera, you can do sound department, you can do grip department, or just production department, art department. There's so many. They even have a construction crew company thing for that as well, and that's really dope because you have so many different varieties of work that you can do if you're artistic or anything like that.
Right. So like there's always like a place for someone if they're artistic or they're not artistic to actually be on the film set. So it's not just being camera work or just being a producer. You can also do makeup. You could do hair. You could do this. You could do that. So there's always a place for you.
There is always that's what I said. Yeah, like they have every job under the sun in a film crew, because the point of film is to make it look like reality, like real stuff. So yeah, I mean, you have the actors, of course, and even that stretches as well. You got granny actors, you got kid actors, you got everything, the producers, everybody. There's so many people that need to come together to make a film. You just cannot. I mean, you're maybe a different story, Catch-22, but because you do sound, the grip, the camera, the directing, and that's very, very tough, which I admire that you're able to get that done.
Right.
We had 1 weekend to do that and limited time as well on that. So,
right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and then the thing about that, funny that you should mention that, but it's like I'm kind of tired of doing everything, but I have to do it because I don't have the staff or I'm understaffed. As someone who was on the royalty set was like, you need a functioning team, and I've been saying that for years, but I'm trying to build a team. So I think by shooting royalty, people seeing it, they can actually see how much goes into a film, making a movie, and they can actually try to contribute and help me in some way. I'm so glad that no one complained about how long we were shooting or doing this or doing that because, I contributed about, of course, but you know me, that's why you wanted to irk my nerves. Yes. But I was saying I was saying like in terms of like putting in like a budget of $2,000 just for the house,
Yeah.
So if someone would complain, it's like you didn't put in a penny, you didn't say here's $10 for this, $20, $50, to feed the crew or whatever. So I never want to hear that from talent or anyone else if you didn't put in anything and you're complaining about how I'm running things.
Yeah.
Maybe if your money was involved, then you would do that. But just a side note for that, just saying that, I've had training in terms of being a cinematographer. So when I'm not doing movies, before COVID, I was filming like a church service. So I was doing photography for them, and I was doing like videography. So if it's like an Easter service or a concert, I would be like one of the camera, operators. So I'm always working on my craft, as you've seen, doing photo shoots.
Yeah.
So it's never that I'm just doing films and then that's it. I'm waiting for like the next project. I'm always doing something to better, you know. Um, and thanks to COVID, I've been, saving up some of the money and buying lights and buying things. So I'm always improving what I need to do,
Yeah.
and it really does help to um, have the experience where I can actually grip work. I can actually do gaffer work, So it's more than just
Yeah.
pressing the camera and going and shooting.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that because, I mean, all they see is this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see the lights. They don't see the C-stands. They don't see
Right.
the giant bag that you have to carry all the time to
Mm-hmm.
get around,
Right.
or the Uber receipts
Mm-hmm.
that you're constantly having to, because you live in Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the film work happens in New York, because
Mm-hmm.
it's New York.
Right.
And
Right.
so I definitely know you're not green at all on any of this stuff. It shows 100%.
Because even most of the stuff is free. I'm not charging anyone to work with me or whatever, and that's why I can't, for right now, I can't do the paid work because I wouldn't be able to really pay people what they really deserve to work with this stuff that entails it, because it's a lot, and I don't want to start
Yeah.
throwing money around and like, oh, I'm only getting this much. So I like to see what people are willing to do for free, and then when the paid work comes, I'll offer it to you. So furthermore, to clarify, I was doing in 2016. I was doing like an internship for like this production. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to slander them, but I was getting paid work, and then they stopped giving me paid work. Now I didn't have to come after that, but I wanted the experience of seeing how a production company was run, how you're doing things, and it gave me something to do during the summer anyway. But just to say that seeing what someone is willing to do for not being paid, imagine what they will do when they are getting paid.
True.
So that's why I want to see everyone's work ethic, if you're on time, if you're polite, if you're doing all the stuff. So when the paid work does come, I know whether or not I can trust you,
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they say. It's passion projects,
Mhm.
and when you first start out. But I wouldn't knock that off your shoulder just so quickly, because a lot of people don't put in the time or their dollar to even start up anything,
Right.
their own company, their own project, and it usually, if they do, it does not get finished.
Right.
They would rather just be on a bigger set where somebody else did that hard work that you've
Right.
done and made that sacrifice in that huge life and made it their life. And now, yeah, they're employing people. They're giving them jobs to, to dinner on their table every night. So I wouldn't say that, you not paying right now, that's pretty normal. I think that's admirable.
Hopefully everyone understands that, because some people like,
Hopefully,
I don't
yeah.
want to do this for paid work. And then even doing some of the castings, people who live in New York for some reason don't want to come to Jersey. So they're always turning down roles because I don't want to drive that far or this, that, and the third. So, I always try to offer food and travel reimbursement, because that's something, your time, gas, whatever, that can be paid for. But paying you like by the hour or whatever,
Yeah.
I can't right now. But hopefully, I hope in the future, by getting grants and other things.
Well, you don't
that
really
can
get paid by the hour in film. Not even the actors. You get a day rate. You get a contract.
Okay.
And it's not like it's $10 an hour. I mean, you can break it down
Right.
that way if you think about it, but usually it's a day rate. That's how they say it. Or for the actors, it's a contract that they've negotiated with the producers or director.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So tell me, so what is your worst
Sorry.
bad, film experience on set? So any stories?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't even remember the name, and I think they switched the title too. It was a live project I had done with my little sister, and it was up in bumblefuck nowhere, New York. They had porta johns for everyone except the producers. You could not use their bathroom. It was freezing because it was a snowboarding. It was called Mountain something. I don't know. They might have even changed the name, but it was the producers in the company that did Jersey Shore.
Okay.
So it was very much like Jersey Shore, where they were trying to get them to have sex, and they just wanted drama and throwing things around, and it was really a whole lot of drama that also was leaking into the crew. I could tell, because like I said, we were out in the boondocks of nowhere. They had hotels for the crew and a different hotel for the PAs. So it was very much separated, very toxic, and just like not. It was a great experience, but it was also a terrible experience, and I would never work for them again, which is why I have not.
Okay.
Actually, they had done some little sequel thing that they had started up in Florida, and my sister and I had gone out to do that job, but they didn't even hire us for it. I think it's because we didn't sleep with them.
Wow. Yeah, that's
We paid like an Airbnb. We were there waiting and waiting.
unfortunately that's how some people in Hollywood or even in the industry think. It's like I was watching this show Glow, and they wanted to get like a prime time thing, and the guy wanted to sleep with one of the the stars wrestlers, and because she turned him down, he pulled the spot for them. So they do things like that happen.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we know that happens. And it's just very unfortunate because, you can have some really hard workers and some really talented actors, PAs, or whatever that are just dedicated to their job and they just want to learn and make a paycheck, like an experience, not to spread our legs so that we can have a job. Like, there's jobs everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but yeah, you're right, it happens, and it's not nothing you haven't heard of, Yeah. And it's just shitty because, it makes it just really uncomfortable, and then sometimes you could doubt yourself and your work. Like, why did this happen to me? I thought we had done a great job, and we were there, we showed up, we stuck through the Porter Johns and all that bull crap,
Right.
the separate hotels, like we were trash, and it was ridiculous. So that's definitely the worst.
Okay. Was there anything that you've done that made like a film experience bad? Like maybe
Oh my God.
forgetting battery, something like that. Because
Absolutely.
I have stories where working with the production company where we forgot
Absolutely.
batteries
Ugh.
and for the cameras, or people were not turning things or charging things. So that always happens on set where
Oh.
people mess up and they do things or are light. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
anything like that for you?
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I've worked with a lot of very high-profile stars, and I have a friggin' problem with, like, forgetting a key to the camper. And I don't know if I should name names, but maybe that's not a good idea. But there was one male, very high-profile actor I was working with, and I just could not get the key out in time. And, he has a lot of fans, and they're rushing around trying to get to know him. And not that he's not shunning his fans or nothing like that, but he doesn't have all day. He's got to go run his lines. And then there was another time where it was a female actress. This actually happened to me recently, which is crazy because I've been doing this quite a while now, that I had her waiting outside her camper for like 2 minutes. It's a long time for a high-profile actor.
All right.
Yeah, she was fantastic, very sweet, very great, and luckily there was no fans swarming her, but I got fired for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
But it was my fault.
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate. Some of those things happen that,
Yeah.
high pro actors feel like you need to rush out the road carpet for them because they're so that. But then also it's your job, So
Yeah.
it's tough when that happens, when you get penalized for that, because mistakes happen,
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand that some people don't want those mistakes to happen. They think that, yeah, okay, how long? Like, you had a whole long list on your resume, and you can shout out numbers and production companies that you've worked for, and you're messing up. So, it was probably just it was a bad day for me. I also didn't think I was going to be handling that actress, but luckily I did not get fired from the other job. I finished the season, which was great, but I mean, I had done a lot of little blips of messing up too. I think he was just really kind to me. So this one was not that way.
Yeah.
It was a great lesson, though. I mean, there's always something you could take from these kind of experiences, like not to I used to always have the key, but then sometimes I would leave the key in my backpack versus like getting a keychain and just having it on my body all the time. So yeah, it's it's a good little. Not everybody is lenient on those kind of things.
All right. So, what do you think that you can improve on in terms of the bad experience of leaving the key, or even like that company that you worked for, that they were trying to sleep with people and all that stuff? So, like, what do you think that you could work on first, and then what do you think they could work on?
Well, aside from that, that sleeping one, they can just go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I don't need to learn anything from
Right.
that. But the yeah, sure. Like I said, like you have to leave get a keychain. There are certain little things, a backpack on you all the time. Just having available, listening to your walkie-talkie whenever, and it could just be random. They might even not even specifically say your name. They just will shout out, I need a water. I need an actor needs a water, And if you're next to a freaking water cooler, and you're not listening, and someone is running from like across the block because they heard it, you look like an idiot.
Right.
I'm telling you, you look real bad.
Right.
So definitely listening is very, very important.
And that's another thing, is like not being on your phone. And I'm so glad no one on set for Royalty was on their phone.
Yeah.
Because I don't yell, but I would have yelled, like, "You get the fuck off the phone!" You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
yeah,
there's so many things happening,
yes,
and so much tension, and I don't want that. I'm so glad that everyone was working. And even for like any other film set that I've done, no one has ever been on their phone. They're not like this, or glued and not paying attention.
I think that's better whenever you have those passion projects, the smaller ones, because people are more getting to know each other versus the seasoned projects, or even the film one, the movie ones, where you're not really looking to talk to anybody. You're just there to kind of just do a job.
Right.
And that was something on your project that nobody was like. Everybody was really great. We mixed well together. Nobody was like, there was no fights or even kind of like that tension. I know I got frustrated at times because I had to, the organization could have been better, and that's also on my part.
Yeah.
But just stuff like when we move into the kitchen and the kitchen is just a mess.
Yeah.
And to redecorate that whole thing.
Yeah.
We're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, because like to move to the kitchen and then push all that stuff into the dining room, and now we're moving into the dining room. It's like, this is just not work. This is not how we should have done it at all. And I know that I should have known that. I just wasn't following like the shot list or anything to know what was coming up. So I mean, I could definitely improve on looking at my paperwork.
Because even for me, for that, like, because I had to clean everything before I left.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't leave until like 11. So after everyone left like 6, I was cleaning up.
Wasn't it 8?
I think it was like 6, 7 o'clock. But it took me. But anyway, I left physically at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, those cast members.
Because of
that
cleaning everything, and there were food, there was wrappers and things, and I said it in the email. I said that I felt like I could have staged my equipment better in terms of putting everything better, but because we were trying to rush and do so many things, I had my bags here, I had this there, I had that there. So just a personal lesson for me, I'm not going to do something like a large project like Royalty again until I really have the people that I really need, because I just don't have the means to keep a look at on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm being the director, I'm being this, I'm being that. And, again,
it's
I hope that I can bring you guys on earlier so we can kind of run down, okay, this is how we're going to run our set. This is how we're going to do things, so those mistakes don't happen where we're leaving food all over the place. And then it's like the rooms are so joined together that it's like you go from the kitchen to here and there, so you just kind of have to move and do things all over the place. So, but that's a learning experience.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know the equipment, but I don't know what bag goes in what bag, or where the batteries go. I just know that that's a battery, and it's yours. So I try to do my part. I didn't even know where to throw the trash aside from in the trash can or the garbage bag. So I can totally understand your frustration there on why. Plus, I was trying to get back home as well to get. There was a free ride.
Yeah, everyone was trying to get back home.
I was there the whole time,
Yeah.
though. I mean, I didn't leave once, except when I left.
Yeah, that's a side note. That's someone left. Well, we don't want to talk about that.
Set a touchy
Yes,
topic.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh.
But no, but even with that, no, you know what? Fuck it. It is unfiltered. So I have an issue. I understand that we were understaffed and things happen. Of course, I'm not gonna mention any names, but when I dismiss you, you're dismissed. You don't dismiss yourself. So when that person did
Now,
that,
hold on there, because we are working for free.
right? But however, it's signed on everyone has the code of conduct. Is that one thing is I don't want people to ask me what time we're leaving until I say that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's also.
So, but it's like this person said that they're going to leave on Sunday, but they left earlier than they were supposed to because they were upset about something else. So that rubbed me the wrong way. Even though they're working for free, that's why
There's only one person that did that. Oh wait, no, actually, yeah.
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 Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about that situation. It's like I understand that you're working for free and you're frustrated, but you can't leave because you're frustrated off the set. To me, that's termination. That's insubordination. That you said I'm not happy with the the circumstances. You can go. I never said you can leave. You said I'm leaving early. So I'm like,
Are
okay.
you talking about me?
No.
Because
No.
I was.
No.
Just wanted to make that clear.
No, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just, but I'm saying that you know who I'm talking about.
I do.
But I'm not going to say any names.
Let's not.
But again, I understand you're working for free. I understand that things happen, but I look at it as that I never said, all right, bro, you can go. Because even with you and Nicole, you stayed until I said, okay, you guys can leave. So you were released. I never released this person. They said, I'm going.
Well, at that time, we had actually finally wrapped, and I was trying to multitask that as well because I knew I was trying to get a ride, and I was homesick as well, and just kind of a little at my peak. But even when we were up in the attic shooting that last photo shoot, I was downstairs. I was cleaning up. Like, I know you think that it was horrible, but I did.
No.
Nicole and I, we had like.
No, I'm not saying that the mess was your fault or anything, but I'm just saying like it shouldn't have gotten to that point because the actor should have took initiative of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're leaving, like I had to throw some of that food away because I don't know whether or not you touch with your hands or gloves or whatever. So all the chips and things that I would like to save, I threw it away because obviously it's COVID, but also I don't know what happened, so I only kept like the drinks and things that weren't open.
Yeah.
So that's like a lot of food that I have to throw away because I don't know the situation. But again, in the future, I think that we should definitely monitor that and take better care of how we're doing the food.
Well, I think that's something that you should look into as well. Like maybe just someone specifically for that, not someone that can jump. Doing different roles. Like I know you're doing that right now, but this whole project is yours.
Right.
And yeah, you are footing up all of the money and everything and everything else. So I think a craft service is very important. Also, because some actors had bought food for us. Right,
which is the situation that I talked, and that's why I wanted to have a conversation with everyone in terms of feedback, so they understood that shouldn't have happened. That an actor buying food for the crew, that's a no-no for me.
That's a no-no, but I do understand that, it's not like, I actually I've never seen you in the kitchen, unless we were shooting in the kitchen.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is a funny story because I didn't eat until 3 o'clock in the morning when we filmed the Saki and Sophia thing. Yeah, so I went from breakfast time to not eating all the way tonight, which is not good. But I'm just so focused, and I just wish that we were following the shooting schedule because I did put a break in there, like I think 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I wish that someone would have stopped me and said, "Hey, Josh, let's feed these people instead of let's keep going to kind of shoot out." Because I think that's the issue is that we wanted to finish and we wanted to wrap. So I feel like that situation shouldn't have happened if we just stuck to the schedule and just took our time. But we wrapped though. But It's just that for me, I just feel bad because I promised food for one day and I didn't feed anyone, and I just hope no one takes that to offense because I'm not.
Well, we know that one
Yeah.
person that did,
Mhm.
and he had terminated himself there.
Right.
And that was kind of the only person that wasn't flexible or open-hearted about the fact that this is a passion project,
Right.
and you're handling every job under the sun
Mhm.
in the film crew, aside from craft service.
Right. So
Or catering.
so on the question of craft services, so I would hire like a company to like cater, or is it like?
No. I would say just one person that would handle the food.
Oh, okay.
That would be in charge of making sure that people ate, or
Mhm.
I don't know, COVID separating things,
Right, okay.
cleaning up
Okay.
that
Okay.
mess that
Mhm.
actors seem to just make and leave
Right,
all over
right,
the
right,
place.
right.
And it's not. I'm not trying to put any
Mhm.
actors out there like. Crew members were doing it as well.
Right.
I don't appreciate picking up, especially when I know you just put it down. And how many times do I have to say, pick up after yourself? Like,
Right.
where the this is not even our home.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
can't get that comfortable. And it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, but it's also it's a job too as well. We have to be respectful for everybody. Respect where we're working, everything. It's a whole process. It's not just your process.
Right.
Yeah. Or my process, I mean.
Those process. All right. So tell me, like, what are your goals? Like, what do you hope to achieve? So, you are a PA, but where do you hope to go from there? AD? Do you hope to go to director route, producer route, actor?
I wanted to do the director producing. Definitely talent, kind of acting on some commercials or some kind of skits. But I know I haven't mastered my talent, and I have a lot of learning to do on both ends, in front of the camera and behind the camera. So, I'm sort of a little bit directionless right now.
Okay.
And it's kind of unfortunate because it's not I'm not exactly getting anywhere, I don't really like being called a PA. But it's a job I do very well.
Right.
Aside from when I leave high-profile actors outside of their camera.
Hey, man, mistakes happen, man.
Hell yeah.
Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but
But,
shit.
I want to be in this industry. I want to be talent, and I like being crew too. So I'm not putting a period next to anything.
Right. Okay. That's good though. That's good to be flexible in terms of what you want to do.
Well, look at you.
Talent. Yeah, I guess so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's great. I can definitely see you being an AD because even with the PA work, you know how everything is run. So I kind of feel like that would push you in the direction of being a AD.
Well,
and
it
then
definitely
being the
was.
AD being a director,
Oh, that's nice.
Because that's mostly how people do the jump. Most people do like, well, for me, it'll be cinematography director, but I'm doing kind of both because I am the director of photography, so it's kind of weird how, but that's what most people do. Most people go AD director. Some people do. It's kind of rare. My teacher did gaffing to directing, so gaffing in terms of lighting into directing because that's kind of like a way that you have to. So like I kind of feel like all of the jobs are kind of connected in a way. Most people go from actor to director, but I kind of feel it's harder to go from acting to directing because if you don't know the logistics of camera work, gaffing, grip work, when you try to direct, you can't really direct because you don't know certain things. And not to speak down about this friend of mine, but we were directing one project, and he was being the DP, and the boom was in the way throughout the whole shot, of not even knowing that, and it falls on me because he wanted me to to direct, but I was so focused on the acting, I didn't look at the camera or the screen and be like, hey, so and so is in the back, and we can see him in the boom. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that that advice to directors is to always look at the screen, always look at what you're filming, because you can catch certain things.
Yeah.
Like a piece of a leg stand could be there if you put it, but if you're not observant
Yeah.
and you're just seeing action and you're looking at the actors and not the screen, and they don't know it,
Yeah.
everyone messes up.
I mean, actually, that happened to me twice on your project because we were doing that shot with the girls whenever in the beginning, whenever they first meet up, the two Saki. Oh, maybe I should say their stage names. um,
You can Saki,
Amy,
Emma, Emma and Sophia.
and Sophia. Yeah. Well, when she was running back to the bathroom, and the girls were coming into the house, you were like pulling it, and I had your monitor, and I was looking at the actors, but I wasn't looking at the monitor, and I got like the wiring of something in.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the first. That was the first time I was
me.
doing
It
that.
was clean. It was clean, but I didn't see it at all, and you did.
Yeah, and the second time there's like a little bump, but it happens.
Yeah.
Because I was pulling it back, and I think the rug hit the back of the dolly, and it kind of did like a little jerk.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe I could fix it with warp stabilization. I don't know, but for right now.
Well, we had also lost another take because that time, whenever I wasn't holding the monitor, I was doing like the sound because what's his name had left for a minute, like a job or something, and I was moving it because I was trying to get everybody sound for everybody, but not aware that you could hear that movement because I hadn't put on the headphones.
All right. Yeah, booms are very sensitive. Like if you do this, it's gonna pick it up. You can be in the back end. You can pick it up. So that's why it's like quiet on set means quiet on set.
Yeah.
No one talks, no one moves, no one does anything because it's sensitive. Now, fortunately, you can do a little bit of noise reduction so you don't hear all of that.
Yeah.
But who wants to do that? Let's just have it clean so we don't have to work extra hard because I'm going to be doing sound editing. So I'm going to have to be really trying to tweak certain things in the filming process. And so that's why I'm like quiet on set, don't do anything. But again, it's a learning experience.
Super. It's like always, I try to learn from my mistakes. I think I'm very self-aware too and observant of what I'm doing. I know I did get frustrated with some of the crew members because even though we were quiet during the roll, which is fantastic, it was very hard to hear you at times whenever you were trying to direct the next shot or figure out what we were going to do next. And, like I get it, it's fun, like I said before, but it's also frustrating because we're trying to do a job.
Right. So, what advice would you have for someone that wants to do AD work or PA work or even being like a filmmaker? So, what advice from your experience?
I mean, be a PA. I learned a lot in multiple departments, and even if you don't want to do it on film, the live PA work, you're basically working every job anyway, and that's the grip, the camera, you're moving. It's not like a union job. Like, it's free hands, anything.
Right.
So if you want to do something like, what's a reality show? I don't know. I can't even think of it.
You want like game show reality or like
game show, Jimmy Fallon, or just anything like that, where like the audience is kind of working too.
Okay.
It's a great learning experience because you can see every kind of. I mean, everything is a great learning experience. With somebody, I would say, if they want to be an AD, definitely just get on some kind of film set and don't have an ego, because I mean, people are gonna know if you know what you're doing, and they're gonna know if you don't. It's just that easy.
Right. Trust me, we know if you're like, let's do this and do that. And I'm so glad that I didn't have to shut anyone down in terms of like, listen, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I should have though, because I kind of felt like when we were doing the attic scene, it took way longer than it was supposed to because too many suggestions. And
that's what I was just gonna say. I think I had put in a lot of commentary, not just with that scene either. I know I was very vocal with basically everything, but I also know I know a lot as well.
But that's good.
Ego
like I'd rather you be vocal because you want to learn and you want to contribute So I'd rather, because to me, that's not you being annoying. That's you wanting to have the best for the project. So if you're like, let's try this, let's try that, that's fine. But I kind of feel like I should have been like, no, let's do this and do that. So I should have been a lot more stern with what I wanted instead of trying to be, very like considerative of like everyone's opinions when it should have been, this is it. This is what we're to do. And I think on the last day, I'm like, this is what we're doing. No more suggestions. Don't talk to me because we need to finish. Because, it takes up time for me trying to tell you not to do this and showing you why not instead of me just saying no.
And energy as well. Because you don't really know how somebody's going to take what you say. And I know I have a problem where I come off just very strong in general. And I don't really, like, I have a great personality, but I can seem dry at times. So, people take that weird sometimes. So I can understand why, you're trying to just keep the peace and make sure everything runs smooth, because you don't know if someone's just going to walk off set or if they're going to, you don't know. So, anything under the sun. But I would definitely say if you're trying to direct and you're doing all of this, direct us.
Yeah, just be a lot more like.
And it just doesn't mean you have to say it in a nasty way.
Yeah, of course.
Or any kind of way like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't say anything nasty, I don't think, but I say it kind of dry sometimes, so it can seem very offensive.
Right.
But I don't.
Well, not to me. So hopefully not to the crew. They're like, I mean, but I think it's just because I've known you for like a year, so I know how you say things, and it doesn't come off as like you're being like quote unquote bitchy or mean or whatever. It's more like concerned, and I'd rather have you concerned even when Nicole had suggestions and she kind of came off a little bit like that, but I know that it's more so of like, this is a shooting schedule. I want to be on time, so even if you kind of seem like you're being like very like bitchy or stern, I take it as like, okay, you care about it, because there's a difference of you being nasty and you being like stern of like, we need to move on. Or we need to do this and do that. So I'd rather that.
I'm actually really happy that Nicole had said that in the attic that time where, everybody was, including myself, was like, this, that, we should, I have the handle on everything. And she just kind of stepped forth and was like, we have to move on. So get what you're going to get now and let's continue. Because, we were up in the attic for quite a while.
Yeah, because we got up there like around 6 and I got a call, okay, it's about to be 1 o'clock and Shorty has to go home. I'm like, wait, 1 o'clock? I'm like, I'm thought like 8 o'clock. I'm like, but that's how filming goes. It's like you're trying to sit and do things. Then I think, I just had to think about it that we did the dancing montage, we did the cake, and then we did the heart to heart. So we did 3 kind of like lengthy scenes, and I'm trying to get different shots and different things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we just should have just cut corners and been like, like that. Because earlier in the second day, we kind of cut corners and we weren't doing too many reverse shots. But that was a very important scene, so I had to get close-ups,
But, oh, yeah, absolutely. And I know you'll be happy with what you got because it was good.
Yeah, it's a lot. But thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Any more social media plugs that you want to give so people can follow you?
I just have one. Well, 2, Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, Violyt, Martin, Martin. And no, I mean, I'm glad that you had offered me the job to be on versus PA or catering or AD or sound.
Right.
So I'm just glad it worked out, and we actually did it. We got it done. So I was happy to be a part of it. It really was, and I did have a very good time.
Would you like to be on another project?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, gotcha. So, did you enjoy the video? Why don't you give it a like, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when we post something new. Give us a follow on Instagram as well at the official Revenant Studios. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again.